Welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect. As promised, I went down and settled my inventory, and now I have 380 units of Omnigel, which is really good. Also, I stopped by my locker, and sure enough, it's not restocked. So forget what I said. It doesn't appear to be the story missions that trigger that thing. I mean, we are done with the story mission, yeah. Right there. Find Liara to Sony. It is checked off. You saved Liara from a collapsing Prothean ruin, and she has joined the Normandy's crew. Hopefully her expertise will help you find the conduit before Saren. So yeah, I don't know what triggers that locker. I mean, it's not that important because the amount of loot you get from it throughout the course of the game is kind of small, but still, it's a mystery, and I'm going to watch it and see if I can figure out that pattern. If I can, I'll let you know. I do like a good mystery. Anyway, like I said, we'll move on. I just want to make a couple more observations about Therum, if I may. Number one, did you notice that not a single charm or intimidate selection was needed down there? Moreover, not a single point of Paragon or Renegade was available down there. I mean, it wasn't a talky mission at all, right? I mean, you just kill a bunch of Geth and you rescue the Doctor before the volcano erupts. I mean, it was a lot of action, but was it a lot of story? I'd say no. It stands out, and that's a good thing, actually, because all the other story missions are going to have a lot more story. They'll have a lot more persuasion and a lot more reputation building. So that's good. It's like we got the weak one out of the way, and we got a full team now, and we get Liara's biotic powers, and she's now available to us as a possible romance option. So, yay, that's all good. So that leads me to the second point. I mean, we could have done Liara's mission a lot later, and in fact, if you have the wherewithal to replay the game and you want to mix it up a little bit, try something different, try this one last. Do this mission last. It's a unique experience. I mean the Geth part will all be the same, but when you get to Liara, she will be aware of the passage of time. She'll be behaving quite differently, and even when you get back to the briefing room, she'll continue to behave differently. It's worth it. It's some neat insight into her character and the story. So I mean, the downside, of course, is that you won't have her biotic powers until very late in the game, and you won't be able to romance her. By that point, it'll be so late that there actually won't be time to set anything up. So yeah, I mean, if you're willing to forego that, then it's definitely worth it. It's a nifty way to play the game. Okay, so we're going to go hit that galaxy map and head on to the Citadel, but there's actually a couple things waiting for us there. Admiral Hackett will use the galaxy map as the trigger point for talking to us, and since we reached level 20, there's already a mission that he will now provide to us, or assignment, a separate assignment. And there'll be plenty to say about that assignment, but suffice it to say that it's really important, and it's something I really want. So we'll get that. And then, because we finished a story mission, there's someone on the Citadel that has now reached out to us and sent us a message, and we'll be able to get that through the galaxy map too. So in order to get both of those messages before we actually arrive at the Citadel, I have to do a little trick, and I'll show you how that works right here, or as soon as we get up a little bit. We're still in orbit above Therum, so we can't land there anymore because of the volcano, but that's fine. We don't want to land there. There's a couple more things I want to scan here, but I'm going to step out back to the cluster level, and this is the trick, because if you go stepping down into the system level, if there's a message waiting for you, that's what triggers it. So let's go get that first message now.
Commander, urgent message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command. We've got a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
This is a freebie worth 2 Renegade.
How come every time there's a problem, you end up running to me?
You're a Spectre, Shepard. And this isn't some run-of-the-mill mission. There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live fire simulations. One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Yeah, we have experience in something similar to this. We talked to a computer that had gone rogue, and it wasn't a VI. I mean, it was clearly an AI, and that's the point of this question, but I can't ask that question because this is a freebie worth 2 Paragon, and this is the only chance you have to get it.
How many casualties so far?
17 Marines were killed in the simulation exercises. Before we realized what had happened, that's when we contacted you. VI support is critical to our military success. They process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds. No human can do that. But as advanced as this thing is at military strategy, it's still just a VI. It's not self-aware, and it's completely disengaged from any networks. That's where you come in. We need you to fight your way through the training ground of the VI core, and manually disable it.
Well, he actually answered the question we were going to ask him. He says it's definitely not self-aware. I hope he knows what he's talking about.
Can't you disable it remotely?
Our fail-safes aren't responding. The VI operates on a closed network. It can affect any external systems, but we don't have any direct access to its processes. We could bomb it from orbit, but the damage to the facility would be catastrophic. We'd prefer to have someone shut down the core. Someone like you. I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
Oh, sure. There's a computer out there that can process and issue, military-grade commands at nanosecond speed. And it has control over weapons and drones. So yeah, that won't be any more difficult than a computer that was really designed just to siphon credits, right? Yeah, that's kind of why we're not rushing over there right now. We're not quite ready for it. Alright, we found an asteroid that has some platinum on it. Always welcome. And there's one more planet here. Phaistos, I suppose? It's really hot here, and luckily we don't have to do anything here. Okay, we're done with Gnosis. And we are almost done with Artemis Tau. There's just one thing left to do here, and that's a particular planet over here in Macedon that can be landed on. We didn't land there, but I'm going to wait to see if Macedon ever appears in the journal. If it does, we'll go then, but if not, we'll have to just remember to come back here. Alright, I want to step out all the way just to make sure I got what I wanted there. Yes, the credits and XP are, of course, from that Platinum survey. Alright, the new assignment is called UNC Rogue VI. Rogue VI is taking over an Alliance training ground located on Earth's moon. Yeah, Earth's moon. Neat, and I'm Earthborn, so it'll be close to home. Of course, Earth is in the Sol system in the local cluster, which actually hasn't been available to us before we get this message. And if I remember right, I think the local cluster is right here. Yep. But we're not going there yet. We're going to go to Citadel. And once we arrive at the system level here, we will get the next message.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
We visited that lounge and we found somebody in there named Nasana. And when we tried to talk to her, she said she was too busy. And now we have yet another assignment called UNC Sorry Diplomacy. Now isn't this strange to have that name? Because remember we met Gareth in the tower. He said that he had a brother missing out in the Traverse. So we kind of knew that was going to be an uncharted mission. But if I remember right, it was named Missing Person. And we didn't get the UNC designation until after we actually arrived there. So this is a little bit annoying. I mean, this should have been called Nasana's Invite, Nasana's Job Offer, whatever. And then given the real name once we knew more about it. But what do I know? I mean, it's a quibble. I actually probably would have been happier if all the assignments were given their true name to start with. But anyway, let us go to the Citadel like I keep promising. I can speed through this animation, but of course it's the video that speeds up and not the audio. Alright, so notice we're back on the Galaxy Map platform. When you come into a port, you actually have to figure out that you have to go into the airlock to actually arrive there. Point defense system, we have some codex we can pick up here. Codex is now worth 50 XP each, which is pretty sweet. A couple of heat load monitors. And a gunnery station. So, free XP is always welcome. Alright, let's step out. And we always get to take a squad with us, so let's take a couple of people we haven't seen in a while and make sure that they know how much needed and loved they still are.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Presley is in charge now. I'm hoping Tali and Liara aren't very nervous about that. I'm sure Rex isn't, because he could handle himself, no problem. Also, wasn't I the XO back when Captain Anderson was in charge here? I guess that means Presley's been promoted into my old position, which would mean that the station he's standing at is probably where I would be standing at, or Captain Anderson's still in charge, but oh well, not that that's important, but still, it's interesting. Okay, we haven't seen Ash and Garrus for a while, so let's level them up. Always start with the defensive prowess for Ash, because you really want her to be a certified tank, and that should do it. Master Immunity. That's 20 seconds of immunization and only 30 seconds to recharge. That's really good. Alright, assault training increases her offensive prowess. Gives her the most melee damage we can give her, which means we can send her in to the thick of battle if we need to, and she could probably stay alive. That's pretty good. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with these 5 talents now, so I think we can now work on guns for her. Good. Poor Garrus, haven't seen him in ages. I'm actually going to skip his passive talent here because it's just weapon improvements, and I really want to work on tech, but I'm going to start here, make sure he can get into medium armor, although I don't actually have any yet. Okay, so the 2 tech talents I don't have, of course, are hacking and damping. And Tali is our master hacker, so let's make Garrus our master damper. So now, any situation we have that requires a tech presence, we are now covered at the master level, which is really good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and bring his electronics up because I still don't have master load myself, and that means now Garrus, Tali, or Caden can fill that role. So choices are great. And we might as well put in the last point in sabotage, because there's no such thing as too much sabotage, ever. Okay. Alright, that's good. Let us go forth into yonder Citadel and explore again and find credits, XP, quests, and people, I guess. Yeah. Notice a couple things. First of all, he's kind of in the way. I want to go there, the elevator, and it's very appealing, alluring right now, but he's kind of in the way. Also, notice he's not yelling out to us like Emily Wong did, so that kind of gives you a clue that we are going to be stuck talking to him. And one thing I'm going to check real quick, I could, if I was putting points in Intimidate, I can come up to 8 right now. I'm really close to the next milestone, but I'm not there yet. So I can't go above 8, and that is a problem for people that want to do this assignment in the most ideal way, because you need 9 to do that. So I'm not putting points there anyway, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest that I can't do this assignment in the ideal way. So let's say hi.
Tin Hut!
At ease. Rear Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
Okay, he's Alliance, but I don't know what he's up to, so let's just have some Spectre fun.
Admiral, I'm on urgent business with the Citadel. Is there something you need?
Let's get one thing clear, Shepard. You might be a Spectre to the aliens, but to me, you're just another junior officer. Be respectful. I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. Then the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship, and you.
Okay, so now we know that we would be under his chain of command had we not become a Spectre and gotten the ship all to ourselves. I guess he's a little bit unhappy about that. But we don't have to be nice to him. I mean, look at what he's just done here. Paws, claws, tentacles. Yeah, in reference to the Council. Tentacles, I suppose, is a veiled reference to the Asari Counselor. Claws must be the Turian Counselor, right? I mean, Turians are avian descent. Paws, I guess, just because there's no one else, must be referring to the Solarian, even though they are more of amphibious descent. So that's kind of weak, but still, this guy is not very nice. I don't like him. I'm going to keep going renegade on him.
I wasn't keen on it either, but there are advantages to being above the law.
Don't let the title go to your head. No one's above the law. I don't begrudge the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
This ship has saved our lives a dozen times over.
An exaggeration. I've read your reports. This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
Okay, so this is Citadel Snap Inspection. That's the name of this assignment. You won't actually ever find it in your journal. It doesn't matter how you finish it. It's just one of those buggy things that for some reason doesn't go into the journal, even though there is rewards for having completed it. So these two options here allow him to make his inspection, and there'll be plenty to talk about afterwards. And we're actually going to do that, but I'm going to still have a little more fun with him.
Normandy is an Alliance warship, but she's on loan to the Citadel. That means she's not in your chain of command.
I believe there's something wrong with my ears. Did you just contradict me?
Okay, so this here is the point of no return on that decision, where you basically say, clear the gangway, I'm not going to let you inspect my ship. And he'll walk away, but he won't give you any XP. I mean, what you'll get out of it is 2 renegade points, and that's just not big enough of a reward for me. I want some XP out of this, so okay, I'm going to back down.
No, sir. Just pointing out our peculiar legal situation. You're welcome to look around, but this can't be considered a formal inspection.
You've got a smart mouth, Commander. Fine. This visit will be off the record. A courtesy tour. Wait here. I won't be long. Commander, I'm not happy.
Sounds like a fairly common situation.
Commander, I suggest you secure your mouth. It's going to get you in trouble. Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
Okay, so now he's made his inspection, and of course he has found nothing that he likes. He's coming out now to ask us some questions about this, and that actually gives us the opportunity to turn these negatives back into positives on him. And of course you need Charm or Intimidate to do that. These two options require 6 points Charm or 6 points Intimidate. Of course we'll never have that, so that's why it doesn't bother me that I'm going to do this assignment now. We can't select it, of course, and that means, yeah, we can't persuade Admiral Mihailovic into submitting a less than negative report. And I'm putting this under who cares, because this report isn't going to make any difference in this game whatsoever. In fact, I'm not even sure that it makes any difference in the sequel games. So yeah, we just don't care. I mean, he's even going to admit that this isn't going to make any difference. This ship and this assignment of mine is just too important. So yeah, anyway, if you want the ideal outcome of this assignment, what you need to do is be selected from this left side for each of these questions. But I can't, so who cares?
You don't expect me to rip out the CIC and redesign it, do you?
A proactive captain would try. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits of element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
These options require 5 points Charm or 5 points Intimidate, which means the stealthiness of the Normandy is the best feature. It requires the least amount of persuasion to convince him that it's a good feature.
I think you should see her in action before you make that call.
Do you now? Well, I'll just have a bed made up in your cabin. Camp out until you find a fight. And we need to talk about your crew, Commander. Krogan? Asari? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Well, of course Garrus would not step in and say something at this point. That would be quite out of line, but wouldn't it have been marvelous if he had just done a little throat clearing or something right there? I think that would have been great. Anyway, these options require 7 points Charm, 7 points Intimidate.
I was told to make nice with the Council. If that means our military secrets get out, the brass only has themselves to blame.
I'm so pleased you can wash your hands of it. You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
And this is the final question, and you need 9 points Charm or 9 points Intimidate. And yes, you do need it in order to get the ideal outcome. If you do select either one of these, you'll get either 2 points Charm, or 2 points Paragon, or 2 points Renegade, and that's a little extra bonus award. But you also get the higher XP reward. You get the same XP as having killed like a Thresher Maw, I think. For my level and achievements, it'd be about 750 XP. I can't get it, that's okay. But because I've entertained him and answered his questions best I could, I could actually get about 2/3 of a Thresher Maw kill, about 500 XP, so yay.
None, sir.
Very well. I'll be sending my report and corrective recommendations to the Joint Military Command. Not that I expect them to do anything about it. Too many interest groups have too much money invested in this. Commander Shepard?
And yay, I get 504 XP and 0 grenades. That's because I happen to have a full set of grenades and can't take any more. But if I had needed them, I would have gotten one. But if you did this in the most ideal way and you got the extra XP, you actually would not have gotten a grenade. So Admiral there has rewarded us for allowing him to submit a fully negative report, which is kind of unique. Oh well, maybe he's hoping I'll blow myself up with that grenade.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Yeah, did you notice the little journal entry pop up there? Yeah, it means we've got a new assignment. UNC missing survey team. Yeah, survey team is dropped out of contact. We gotta go figure out why. It's in the Antea system within Hades Gamma, so we know where to go, of course. And we're gonna go there at some point. And I'm speeding this up because elevators are so slow. Uh-oh, and look, somebody is waiting for somebody off this elevator. What do you want to bet?
Commander Shepard?
Yeah, she's waiting for me. But unlike the Admiral upstairs, I can actually sneak away and do anything else I want to do. The question is, though, do I really want to sneak away? I need the credits. I need the XP. It does provide you with some ability to... Garrus, were you stuck over there? I guess he was. If you replay this game and you come here and invoke her after having done different story missions, you will get potentially different questions. I can't demonstrate all those, so it doesn't matter to me. I actually just want the rewards now, so let's talk to her.
Khaleesa Benzine in Al-Jalani, Westerland News. Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
I'm not in the mood, Miss Al-Jalani.
People back home have heard a lot of wild stories about you, Commander. I can give you the chance to set the record straight. What do you say?
Alright, you can say no, I'm not going to talk to you, and that'll end the assignment, and you'll get no XP for it, and unlike the Admiral upstairs, you won't even get any Renegade for it. So no, we definitely don't want that.
So long as you understand that I may not be able to answer all questions.
I'm sure our viewers will understand. Humans have been trying to get the respect of the galactic community for 26 years. With that in mind, what are your feelings on being the first human Spectre?
I try to keep in mind that it's just another form of duty. I still wear a uniform.
But there's a difference between protecting human interests and Citadel interests. Have you encountered any situations where the Citadel asked you to place its needs before the needs of Earth?
So this is clearly a charm and intimidate option over here, although it's very strange to see them on the right side. I'm not sure that happens anywhere else in the game. And it's also strange that you will never see these grayed out, because you only need 1 point of charm or 1 point of intimidate. And since you've become a Spectre already, before you can even get this assignment, you'll already have that 1 point at the very minimum. So yeah, we're gonna pick one, but I mean, it looks to me like the game kind of wants you to answer the question. If you select this middle one, she will simply say, well, that's not really answering the question, and you'll move on. But I mean, there's no other reward for this, so who cares?
I think they know not to ask me to work against my own people.
I think our viewers will be glad to hear that, Commander. You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
Okay, so now we're going to begin getting questions from her directly, and we can start to use Charm or Intimidate to basically correct her or beef up what she's saying. I mean, she thinks it's an advanced human warship, and it clearly was a co-developed boondoggle, as the Admiral called it. So the Turians were involved for sure, but of course we can intimidate her and just say, yep, look how great we are, which is kind of weird. Of course, I can't. I don't have the points. You do need 3 points of charm or 4 points intimidate, which means I could have come back later to do this, but you don't actually get any reward at this point. You have to go on to the next question before you get anything. Notice this, too. You can say this interview's over and walk away. You get 2 Paragon for this, and you'll stop the interview, but you only get the same XP you would get for a Codex entry. And we don't want that. We should be able to get the same XP that we got upstairs, so yeah, let's go for that. Notice that you also have this one. This is the Renegade path. You can get 2 Renegade points for this, and you'll end up punching your lights out in addition to aborting the interview. Notice that punching a reporter doesn't build as much reputation as punching a scientist, like we did there on Eden Prime. We got 9 points for that. I guess that means that punching the press has been a mainstay of human activity since the dawn of time, and nobody pays any attention to it, which is kind of sad. This middle route will be the way you continue on the interview, but of course, for the most part, we won't be answering the questions very well.
Many details are still classified, I'm afraid. I can tell you she's a fine ship and has the best crew I've ever served with.
Some members of that crew are aliens, as I recall. Do you think it was appropriate to hand Earth's most advanced warship over to the Citadel?
So if you had charmed previously and you charm again, this requires 6 points of charm, then you would get a Paragon points, and she will actually shorten the interview slightly because she'll be satisfied. If you select this one, this is only 5 Intimidate points, and you selected the previous Intimidate, you'll get 9 Renegade here, and again a shorter interview. Luckily the XP isn't different. You'll still get just in my case 504 XP. So yeah, I'm not missing out on too much here. Again, we can abort if we want, or just simply almost basically not answer.
The Normandy has only been loaned to the Citadel. It's a legal technicality that allows me to use her in my new role as Spectre.
So this was only to help you in your new job working for the Citadel. Given your recent experiences, do you think humanity will ever get the respect it deserves from the galactic community?
So because we didn't charm or intimidate last round, we get this extra question. This requires 8 points to charm, this requires 7 points intimidate, and even though the cost is higher, you don't actually get any Paragon or Renegade from this, so it's kind of a weird one.
It's inappropriate for an active duty officer to publicly comment on politics.
One last question, Commander. Rumors back home say you're tracking a rogue Spectre named Saren. Do you have any comment on that?
Notice none of these are grayed out, so there's no charm or intimidate here. She's asking a question based strictly on a rumor, and we have the chance here to fill in the gaps for her. Now, the fact that she doesn't know very much suggests that maybe she shouldn't know very much. Maybe somebody's trying to keep this out of the press. And in fact, if we do select either one of these, Hackett will say, gee, we were trying to keep that story out of the news, or keep Saren's involvement out of it, or something like that. And he'll be less than happy with us. It still won't break anything. It's not like game over or anything.
I'm afraid I can't comment on whatever my current assignment may or may not be.
Don't worry, we'll find out. The eyes of Earth are on you. Don't let us down. Thank you for your time, Commander Shepard.
So yay, we got another bucket of 504 XP and some money this time. I think the money is actually reduced if you only get smaller XP as well, so good for us. Now we have a new entry in the journal, which should be complete now. Yep. 4th Estate. You agreed to be interviewed by a reporter, and hopefully you came off well. So the journal at least, doesn't actually evaluate your performance. In order to get the evaluation now, you have to, well, there's 2 ways you'll get evaluated. One is you go back to that galaxy map, and when you do that, Hackett will say that the story has just aired, and he gives you his impression. And he'll say something like, you handled her well, or she shouldn't have ambushed like you, or you shouldn't have beat her up. Or in my case, he's going to say, you aren't very good at this, are you? Which is kind of cute. The other way is if you happen to catch a news vid in the elevator, it'll say that it'll evaluate you through the public news vid, I guess. And it'll say something like, Commander Shepard assaulted her, or he refused to answer any questions. That'll be my case, I think. Or it'll say something like, Shepard had a keen diplomatic mind. And that's what we're kind of missing out on here. So yeah, I can't obtain the keen-minded news report from Al-Jalani's interview because I didn't have enough charm or intimidate. Again, I put this under who cares because, honestly, who listens? I mean, these news vids are never telecast anywhere but in those elevators, and who's ever seen anyone ride in the elevator besides us? So, yeah, it's not a big deal here. I mean, I got what I want. I got that XP bucket. And, yeah, let's move on. I think we're actually done with people standing in the way of our progress, and we can actually do what we want. So let's drop a save so we can start exploring and having fun next episode. Alright, we'll pick up the story from right here next time.